Okay, now let's talk about different forms of energy, and I want you to think about a car. You guys will be driving at some point, and you're going to pull up to the gas pump, and you're going to pay money to fill up your tank. So the question is where is the energy going from that gasoline? Now, first of all, the gasoline itself is potential energy. So there's loads of energy locked up in that gasoline. You just have to release it by making a spark in your engine and applying or giving it oxygen. Okay, and that's going to hopefully make you move. The problem is if you've ever noticed, there's a couple of things that are going on that makes cars very, very inefficient. Okay, ideally, all the energy should be put into motion, but it's not. Number one, can you hear the car? If you can hear the car, well, then you're actually paying at the pump to fill up. When you fill up your tank, you're using some of that energy in the gasoline for sound. Okay. Number two, have you ever felt the hood of a car where the engine is after it's been running for a long time? If not, go try it. It's going to be hot. Okay, definitely warm, probably hot, especially in the summertime. You're going to really, really feel it. Okay, you're not using your car to heat up the environment, but there's different forms of energy that are being created. So one of them is sound, one of them is heat. Okay? If you think about light bulbs, the ones that they're now legally phasing out, the old-fashioned type, if you will, those light bulbs create a lot of heat. They create light, but they create a lot of heat. You don't use a light bulb. Most light bulbs aren't used to create heat unless it's for a reptile or for that purpose. So you're using energy, and you're actually losing some of it in the form of heat, even though you want the light. So there's different types of energy, potential and kinetic energy. There's electrical energy that's coming from your outlets, your batteries. Light energy, chemical energy, this is like your food. Okay, so you're actually eating or relying on chemical energy when you eat your food. You're breaking those bonds between the molecules and the atoms in order to release the energy that is stored. Okay, mechanical energy. Think of this as objects, applying a force to an object and using it like a bicycle or a can opener. That would be mechanical energy. Heat energy, nuclear energy, sound energy. And each of these, so this is types of potential and kinetic energy, but not every one is both potential and kinetic energy. Okay, so each of these can be one of the two main types. Okay, so there's potential and kinetic energy, but then there's these little subdivisions. So kinetic energy is electrical, light is kinetic, meaning moving. Chemical can be either kinetic or potential. Mechanical, kinetic, or potential. Kinetic, potential. Sound energy, kinetic. Okay. So up to this point, if you're still confused, I want you to think about a simile. So we've done similes before. Okay. So let's just do a quick review before we get into the dogs thing. There's two main types of energy, potential and kinetic energy. Okay. So the main theme, the main idea is energy, two types, potential, kinetic. Underneath there's different forms. So dogs is like saying energy. But think of it this way. There's two main types of dogs. You got your male and your female, just like there's two types of energy, potential and kinetic. There's your male, there's your female. Okay? Potential, kinetic. Again, this is just a simile to make you hopefully understand this a little better. But there are many different forms, breeds of dogs, just like there's 7 different forms of energy. There may be more there, but those are the main ones that you'll see when you do some research. So these are the forms of dogs, two types of dogs, different forms. Two main types of energy, different forms of energy. Okay, and so like I've been discussing all along, energy can be, it's not lost, it can't be created, It's just recycled. So it gets converted from one form to the other. So here on Earth, we mostly rely on energy that comes from the sun, even though you may not even realize it. The sun is having a massive impact on your life. So we've got nuclear fusion going on, releasing lots of energy within the sun. That creates heat and light, creates other sources of energy too, but for right now we're concerned with the heat and the light. So a plant gets the heat, gets the light, it's going to store that energy, those forms of energy. It's going to use them. It's going to create chemical energy stored within the bonds, creating glucose, okay, allowing the plant to grow and become a bigger plant. Plants lose heat. So not all the energy from the sun is going to go directly into the plant. The plant is going to actually lose energy. Deer eats the plant. Now the energy from the sun is going to enter into the deer, is be assimilated, becomes part of the deer. Okay. Now we know that deer can do things like produce heat, just like your body. Okay. Mechanical movement, their bones, their muscles, all working together to do that mechanical energy. All that stuff takes energy. Sound. Deers make sound. Okay. Whether it's be grunting or anything else, that takes energy. Okay, so that energy that originally came from the sun is going to be lost in these forms. Okay, some of it is stored as chemical energy within the meat or the body of the deer itself. Okay, so now that chemical energy, that stored chemical energy, that potential chemical energy, you got a hunter. The hunter comes along. Okay, everybody's got to eat. Okay, life feeds on life. That's just the way life is. Okay, a hunter. Goofy little hunter. He takes the deer, he brings it back, he's got a meal, okay, he's going to use that chemical energy. Where did that come from? He's actually using the energy from the sun. So every time you take a bite of your food, I want you to think of where did the energy come from and realize that the sun is the provider of the energy. Okay? And of course, us people, we produce heat, we make lots of noise, some of us more than others, and we do mechanical type things, movements, and etc. And this is just some examples of some energy conversions that are happening from one form of energy to the other. So you plug something into an electrical outlet, like a lamp, you get light and heat. Okay, so you're taking electrical energy, you get those two forms of energy. Your cell phone, you get chemical energy stored within the battery, converted to electrical, and you get all of these types of energy or forms of energy there. Okay? Your food, you eat your food, you get mechanical heat, sound, electrical energy. Believe it or not, we're basically just like a little battery. That's why those, somebody goes into cardiac arrest and they're using those paddles to give them electrical shock. It's to help give them that electrical energy that their body is failing to give themselves. Okay, you burn a fire. Okay, chemical energy stored within the carbon atoms. You get light, heat, the crackling sound that's going on. Nuclear energy, we talked about that, light and heat. Mechanical energy, like a windmill. Okay, the moving parts. Okay, to produce electrical energy. An automobile, chemical energy from the gasoline. You're getting the moving parts, the heat, the sound, electrical energy from your radio and other electrical parts. And then the lights, the dashboard, the headlights, etc.